What's up, guys? Nemo Propaganda back here with another review for you guys. Today we have JBL in the building, the 550p subwoofer by the Harman Group. This was recommended to me by a subscriber. He might not be a subscriber, I don't know. He just left a comment and was like, hey, you should check out the JBL 550p. And I was like, man, that's a pretty cheap subwoofer. I don't know if I'm really into that. I think it was like 340 bucks on Amazon, and he was like, hey, it's really good. Like, you should check it out. It's actually on sale right now for $198, and it goes on sale fairly often. And I was like, what? Okay, let's go. So I ordered it for $198, and it came to my door, and that's all I paid. So we're gonna get into it. All right, I'll throw some specs on screen so you guys can check that out. We'll do this review the same way we generally do. I'll tell you about some standout features. I'll tell you what it sounds like. We'll do some comparisons, and then we'll wrap it up. So stay with me. So keep in mind, so this subwoofer, it's 600 bucks full MSRP. Year-round on Amazon, it is $340. So I'm going to review it from that perspective of it being $340. On top of that, it looks like a few times a year it goes down to just $198. Crazy low pricing, so let's talk about it. So, standout features. We got a few things going on. 10-inch driver up front in a sealed configuration. 300 watts RMS from the amplifier, which, look, you know, that's not a crazy amount of power, sure, but for a subwoofer I paid $200 for and sells for $350 generally, that's a crazy amount of power we're getting in, and I did check that is RMS. The cabinet is another standout feature. It is 1 inch thick, and before you lose your mind, it's not MDF, it's a fiberboard cabinet. So what's going on here is Harman Group is making up for quality with quantity, and at this price, I am totally okay with that. The fact that they made it so thick to make up for the wood not being MDF is, I appreciate it, honestly. It shows they actually care, and it's got an internal brace. Hello, they're taking this seriously, and for the price, it's impressive. The driver is another standout feature. Again, for the money, what we're getting here is pretty crazy. We've got a cast basket. We've got a fairly large motor section. I don't know how big the voice coil is because it looks like the Spider's a little bit tall. My guess, maybe something like 1.5 inches. Now, again, really what's going on here is for the money we're spending, what we've gotten from the plate amp, the cabinet, and the driver is just like, what is going on? It's pretty cool. So I couldn't help but be impressed. We've got some nice outrigger feet here. I think that helps give it a classier look, and they are freaking height adjustable. And Billy Mays, if that's not all, you do have spikes that come in the box as well as an option. This is one of those situations where the value is really up here. And if it seems like I'm crazy excited for that, please bear in mind, for those of you that subscribe, and if you've seen the Velodyne DB12 video, you saw that was the total opposite. There we had a subwoofer that was priced way high. We had a thin cabinet that had resonance, and I was pissed off about it. You know what I mean? That was a poor value proposition. So jump into something like this where the value proposition is just crazy high. I can't help but be excited, relieved, and happy, honestly. Especially because some of the guys that follow me on this channel, some of you guys are in countries where if you can't buy it on Amazon, it's kind of game over because your country's got really high import taxes, like India, for example. And up until now, I haven't really had a subwoofer to recommend for you guys, but here we go. What does this sound like? So what we've got is a boost in the mid-bass region. That's not uncommon at this price point. It gives it a bit of a tactile feel. It does unfortunately have the side effect of drawing attention to itself, so it's not going to integrate like something 3 times its price, nor do I expect it to, and you shouldn't expect it to either. It integrates well enough for the money, okay? The output is strong, okay? It extends fairly low. It's not going to play the intro of like put on by Jeezy with that infrasonic bass, but it's going to extend low enough for most music and movies. And it's going to have a very aggressive attack. It's going to pressurize your room. It's got a lot of bass, actually, okay? And look, it weighs 50 pounds. So this isn't like some bargain bin piece of crap. This is like Harman Group like really made a good subwoofer. and it just gets discounted heavily. So hats off to them. Good job there. Look, make no mistake. Is something more expensive going to sound better? Of course. Something like a Rhythmic L12 that's almost $600 will have better bass note distinction. We'll have better speed and transients. We'll have better extension and output and things like that. But for what we're paying here, this is pretty good. Look, it wasn't at home in my $13,000 sound system, okay? And it won't be at home in a $5,000 sound system either. But for those of you that got sound systems $2,500 and below, and you don't have a subwoofer and you need one for your movies and things like that, this is a fantastic option. So the sound for the money, I was very impressed. The bass was punchy, it was quick enough, it was tight enough. This was kind of the definition of good enough for the money by a long shot. So comparisons. This gets a little bit challenging because it's so affordable, right? At $340, it's affordable. When it goes on sale for $198, it's crazy affordable. But let's compare it to the RSL Speedwoofer 10S, that's $400. So I'll be honest, guys, the RSL Speedwoofer 10S is better in just about every category. It extends lower, it plays louder, has more authority, it's more tactile, it hits harder. It is the better subwoofer. But it is also just a little bit more expensive, so that's no surprise. But again, if you're in a country like India or Brazil where you've got these crazy high import taxes, unless you buy from Amazon, this is not a bad alternative at all. So rejoice, my brothers. Next, let's talk about the Emotiva SE12. It's going to be a similar story. That's $400, the Emotiva SE12, and it, again, will extend lower. It'll have a little bit better like articulation. It'll integrate just a little bit better and things like that. Overall, the Emotiva SE12 is just a little bit better in every area, as it should be. It's slightly more expensive. But again, if you're in a country where that's not available for you due to aggressive import taxes, rejoice. This is not far behind. It's pretty darn good for the money. So that kind of wraps up the comparisons. I don't have much else to compare it to. At the $200 on sale price, I don't know if it has a competitor, honestly. Now, in fairness, I haven't heard many subwoofers that cheap. Most of them are unlistenable for me. So if anyone's got a recommendation or you guys want me to check out more like ultra budget stuff, I may consider it, but I'm not sure I want to, because most of the time the ultra budget subwoofers are boomy, and it's just, I hate listening to them, honestly. There's kind of no way to say it. This wasn't boomy. The mid bass bump I didn't love so much, but I was able to play with that. So when I was playing with this thing and taking it apart, I was texting Sean from Zero Fidelity, and I was like, bro, this thing's pretty impressive. The cabinet's fiberboard, but god damn it, it's an inch thick. The plate amplifier's got 300 watts RMS, and I only paid $200 for it. And he was like, you know, I'm sure someone could probably shove a better driver in there and make it sound even better. And I was like, challenge accepted. So I went in my garage where I've got a few different drivers laying around, because I'm a car audio guy too. And the one that it has to be 4 ohm because it's a home sub. The only one I had that was 4 ohm and 10 inches was a JL Audio W3. I know that's a $350 driver, but stay with me. So I pulled out the regular driver, I shoved in the JL Audio W3. I had to re-drill some holes and stuff like that, but I was able to make it work and make it seal properly. Holy cow, that mid-bass bump that I didn't like so much, gone. That little bit of extension that was missing, it didn't come in fully, but we had a little bit more of it. The punch, the slam, the articulation, the impact, all improved, and it was awesome. Now, again, remember, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, Nemo, okay, but that's a $350 driver. If I bought this for $350 or $340, now I'm almost at $700. Like, shouldn't I just buy a Rhythmic L12 instead? Yes, absolutely. But if you bought this thing for $200, like I did, there are other car audio drivers that are really good that you could shove in here for an awesome upgrade. Some examples. In the SPL camp, Sundown Audio or SoundCubed, they have 10-inch drivers that are like $129 or $149 that would fit in here nicely and give you similar upgrades. As much as I love JL Audio in the car audio space, their price is a little bit inflated. At some point with JL, you are paying for a brand. Their stuff's good, there's no doubt about that, but it is quite a bit more expensive than I think it should be. Anyhow, I'm just gonna shut up with that. Sundown, Soundcubed, or if you can find something affordable from Digital Design, would be awesome in here. And the coolest thing is you can find those kinds of car audio drivers on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and then the secondhand market for dirt cheap, because car audio does not hold its value whatsoever. So essentially what I'm getting at here is if you like everything I've said, but you're like, I don't like a mid-bass bump either, I want a little more, buy this on sale for 200 bucks. Buy like a $120 car audio driver. That's 4 ohms, 10 inch, an SPL one preferably. So no Focal, no Morel, nothing like that. You want an SPL one. It'll be most suited for this design. And you'll be in the whole thing like 320 bucks. And it'll bang. You know what I'm saying? It'll be great. Now, then some of you are still like, well, is that better? Or should I get like a RSL Subwoofer 10S? Up to you at that point. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I had a little fun doing the DIY project. I've since put the regular driver back in because I'm probably going to just sell this after the video. But it's a cool option to have because it's so cheap, right? Anyhow, I digress. Look, there's not much else I can tell you about this. At the end of the day, I am impressed. This is one of my first, this is my first Harman or JBL product I'm reviewing. I didn't expect it to be this good. I bought it with my own money because I didn't want to deal with having to send them an email and ask for a review sample and them telling me my channel's too small. But yeah, guys, like, I'll tell you this, when I was younger and broke and penny pinching, I would have been super happy if Amazon existed and a product like this existed that would go on sale for such a low price, you know what I'm saying? Back then, we didn't have many options. Some of you guys have been subscribed to me for a while. No, when I was younger, my subwoofers composed of, you know, drivers I got from the swap meet and boxes I pulled out of the trash, you know, powered by external amplifiers. Anyways, I digress. There's not much else I can tell you about the subwoofer besides, for the money, God damn it, you can't go wrong. $340 year-round or $198 on sale, either way, you are winning. I'd suggest waiting for the sale, grabbing it at $198 and shoving a different driver in there. But even with the standard driver, it is really good for the money, guys. Until next time, later.